Hi, welcome to Street Priest Ministries. I'm your host, Brother Jay, where we're taking the gospel back to the streets. Today's drive-through message is First Fruits. Turning your Bibles to 1 Kings 17:8. Now, I've taught on tithing already in the alabaster box. First fruits also belongs to the Lord. That's one of those things he claims. That's part of his godly, divine lines in the sand that he draws, whether you realize it or not. And we're going to start here with Elijah. Elijah has fled, to set the stage, he's walked into King Ahab's court, and he's fleeing right now. And he's going down to Zarephath, where God commanded a widow to sustain. And the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, Arise, get ye down to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. So he arose and went to Zarephath. And when he came to the gate of the city, behold, a widow woman was there gathering sticks. And he called to her and said, Fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel, that I may drink. And as she was going to fetch it, he called to her and said, Bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thine hand. And she said, As the Lord thy God liveth, I have not a cake, but a handful of meal in a barrel, and a little oil in a cruse. And behold, I am gathering 2 sticks, that I may go dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die. Now remember, God commanded him to go to the widows of Zarephath's house to sustain him. And this woman's telling him, we have just enough to eat for this last day, and then we're going to die. So she didn't have a lot of faith. This woman was dealing with her seen reality. We don't have enough for you, man. It's just enough for us. And we're going to eat and die. And Elijah said unto her, Fear not, and go and do as thou hast said. But make me there of a little cake first. First fruits. Now, if this was to happen in today's world, can you imagine a preacher going to a widow's house? And let's think of a state, Kansas, a suburb of Kansas somewhere. Or how about a suburb of Minnesota somewhere? Even California, maybe Madera, Fresno. Going to a widow's house, a preacher, and saying, Give me your last morsel of meal first. Can you imagine the scandal that would be all over the fake news media? How they would berate and parade that man of God all over the news media. Well, God's ways are not man's ways. And the first fruit belongs to the Lord. And let's see what she does. For thus saith the Lord of Israel, The barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall the cruse of oil fail, until the day that the Lord sendeth rain upon earth. They were in a famine on top of it. Because Elijah had prayed that it didn't rain. And God answered the prayer because of the sins of children of Israel. God said if they were to worship idols, it wouldn't rain. So everything was within the permissive will of God. Now this widow could have said no to God's prophet, God's preacher, said no, she had free will. But she didn't. She gave the first fruits of what she had, and God sustained her. And she went and did according to the saying of Elijah, and she and he and her house did eat many days. And the barrel of meal wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of the Lord, which he spake by Elijah. When you give the God's men to teach you God's word first. Now, let me put that in today's translation, today's context. You get a job. Well, that first check belongs to the Lord. New Year comes around. The first week of everything you earn belongs to the Lord. Well, I only get paid once a month. Well, okay. The first week still belongs to the Lord. You take that week and you that belongs to the Lord out, and you get the 3, and you got to pay the tithes on the 3. Well, how can I live? How does God expect me to survive giving up such a lot? Well, look at the widow. She survived. God's ways are not man's ways. The Bible says, heaven is higher than earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. If you're going to be a Christian, be one. If you're going to trust God, trust Him. If you can't trust Him with your material things, how in the heck are you going to trust Him with your soul? It's not making any sense. I'll trust Him with my soul, and I'm sure not going to trust Him with first fruits, or the tithes, or the alabaster box. But I'll trust Him with my soul. Some of you are mocking God. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. First fruits belongs to the Lord. Period. It's not if and. If you're hearing this message and you harden your heart to the message, God sees and God will judge. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. First fruit belongs to His. You get a raise increase, the first part of that raise, you make it 10 an hour, and all of a sudden you make it 13. Well, 10 minus 13 is 3 on an hour, at times 8 hours. So that 24, and if you work 6 hours, 6 times 24, what is that, $144 of that week belongs to the Lord. The first fruits belongs to the Lord. They know you're not exempt of robbing God of His tithes either on top of it. If you're going to be a Christian, be one. There was 203 offerings in just the Feast of Tabernacles alone that they gave. Every week. For 3 weeks. The Bible said God loveth a cheerful giver. Now, what does God promise with the first fruits? Let's just see. For doing it His way. Turn to Proverbs 3:9. Go to Proverbs 3:9. See, you're not going to get away with your arguments with God. God declares. It's up to us to follow. Okay, Proverbs 3:9 states, went too far there. Okay, 3:9. Honor the Lord with all thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses burst forth with new wine. Well, let's translate that today. Your bank account will be fat. You'll have plenty of food on the table. You won't starve, even in the knowing famine, when everybody else is starving. You have plenty of credit and homes, and doing it God's way. Your barns will be filled. Why don't you take God up on His word? Well, Pastor, I wonder if I die in a cardboard box. Well, you'll wake up to eternity. That's the whole idea of faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Trust in God. Well, if you do it God's way, you tithe, or you give your first fruits, and you alabaster, and God don't deliver here in time. That's what we teach. Faith is your ticket into eternity, friends. Faith is your ticket into eternity. You get mansions and all the things that probably many times over. Jesus said, lay up not for yourself treasures on earth, where moth and dust are corrupt and where thieves break through and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and dust are not corrupt, where thieves do not break through and steal, but where one's treasure is, there was heart be also. There's treasures in heaven that I'm sure are way more comparable than anything down here on earth. So if you die in a cardboard box and wake up in eternity, you did it God's way. That's your ticket into heaven. Or you can rob God. Tithes, offerings, first fruits, alabaster. And still maybe get rich down here and go to hell. What does it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what should a man give in exchange for his soul? Street Priest Ministry is in the soul-winning business. But we're also teaching proper respect for God and His Word and giving God's way. And this is not the prosperity doctrine is damnable and sending many to hell along with the blind leaders of the blind. They all fall into the pit. I don't teach a prosperity doctrine. I teach doing it God's way and being rewarded spiritually. Now, whether or not God honors and makes you rich as Howard Hughes, or if you die, a mendicant pauper, that's between you and God. And God, you can ask God when you get over there. I'm just here as God's servant to teach you God's ways, which are not man's ways. That's what Elijah teaches and the widow teaches of Zarephath. Now, another promise that God promised for doing it His way. Turn to Exodus 23:19. We're going to go to Exodus. This is another promise for first fruits. Exodus 23:19. All right. So we read in Exodus 23:19, the first fruits of the land thou shalt bring unto the house of the Lord. What translates the house of the Lord now? It's where you get your spiritual food. This is the house of the Lord. It's just the internet house of the Lord. This is the internet ministry. This is where you get your food. Well, if you don't get your food here, get a first fruits tithes, alabaster. Where you get your spiritual food. If I'm not teaching you anything, you're wasting my time and yours. But if I am teaching you God's word, and this is where you're getting your spiritual food. First fruits tithes, alabaster box comes to this ministry, Street Priest Ministries. The first fruit of the land thou shalt bring into the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not see the kid a mother's milk. Now this is the promise God gives for doing it His way. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and bring thee into the place which I have prepared. God's going to give you a special angel for doing it His way. You read it for yourself. I'm not talking to disbelievers. I'm sure I got the scoffers out there that's probably smoking a crack pipe or meth pipe or something, just rolling on the ground laughing. This man is crazy. Talking about angels going before you. He's just hustling and this and that. I'm talking to people that have the Spirit of God in them, that have discernment, that have eyes to see and ears to hear, like the parable of the seed sower I've taught them. This promise is for you. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and bring thee into the place that I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. This is a mean angel. How would you like an angel to clear out your enemies for the new year by doing it God's way? Well, this is the first fruits promise. This all falls on the first fruits. Honor the Lord with all thy substance, the first fruit name increase, so shall thy barns be filled with plenty that presses burst for new wines were read in Proverbs 3. And now a promise of an angel, a mean angel that goes to clear the way for you. Wouldn't you like that? And an additional to all the other promises. The Bible says all the promises of God and in Him which is in Christ are yea, and in Him amen. You can claim all these promises if you do it God's way. What do you have to lose? Like I've said before in other sermons, gamblers in Vegas got more faith than most Christians. They got more faith in the slot machines and the crap tables than most Christians got. And that's the truth. Most of you read this, but you don't really believe it. That God can send a mean angel to clear a path for just giving the first fruits for the year or for anything you receive. New investment. You know, we ain't have to super spiritualize everything. You get anything new, a new job, new source of income, whatever. It belongs to the Lord. Tax return. Oh yeah. The tax return. You divide that into the weeks of the year. The first week of the tax return belongs to the Lord. Yeah, you get first fruits out of that. What is that, 52 weeks in a year? Oh yeah, that first week belongs to the Lord. See, I'm not here to, I'm here to bring everything down to where the level where you can understand it. And we don't have to super spiritualize it. Get down to brass tacks, as they used to say. It belongs to the Lord. First fruits belong to the Lord. Tithes belong to the Lord. God would love for you to give an alabaster box. But thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak. Then I will be an enemy unto thy enemies, and an adversary unto thy adversaries. Wouldn't you like that mean angel to go before you and take out your adversaries, take out your enemies? It's the promise of first fruits. This is what God promises for doing it his way. Well, I'm sure glad I got this mean angel before me to take out my enemies. I did it God's way this year. And believe me, God's going to clear a path. We're all going through some that are true Christians in faith and fighting our own individual battles on our own individual battlefields. But it's nice to have this mean angel, the angel of the Lord, that's going before. It's going to clear a path for the enemies that come up against us. I pray this message reach you, and if it has, hit that donate button and give to Street Priest Ministries. May God bless you and have yourself a great evening, great day. In Jesus' name.